What was your first kind of thoughts from the baseline? How did it feel?
Yeah, I guess it was fairly similar to the pure drive from the baseline. There was plenty of power. I think probably a bit more spin than I was used to with this racket, and it was definitely shooting off the strings. So yeah, plenty of easy power with this racket for sure.
So let's talk about spin generation, more touch shots. How did they feel?
Yeah, I think spin generation was absolutely fine. That was very easy. I think around the net was a bit tricky again because I felt like it was just flying off the strings a little bit. Whether a tighter string pattern or a poly string maybe would help with that a little bit for a more advanced player. But yeah, I agree, the sweet spot feels huge and there's plenty of margin for error with this racket.
When you were volleying and things, did you find it a little bit too powerful at times, harder to hit touch shots?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it felt good on when I was trying to volley deep. However, if I was taking a drop volley or trying to cut it a little bit more, then I felt like it was a bit trickier to control still.
Okay, and then on the serve, did that free power kind of help on the flat serve down the tee and things like that?
Yeah, I think the serve was probably where it felt best for me. I think lots of easy power, lots of easy spin, both for kick serve and a slice serve. So I think in terms of serving, this racket was great.
What kind of player would this suit then?
I think general club players this is ideal for, who don't necessarily want to be hitting the ball out the middle of the racket every time and too much power. I think someone who likes easy power, doesn't come to the net too much, more of a baseline-based kind of player.
Yeah. So what do you think about the cosmetics of the racket then? For me, it's a great looking frame, but what's your opinion on it?
Yeah, definitely. I really like what Wilson are doing at the minute. I really like the matte kind of designs with the colour scheme and the kind of simplistic two-colour tone. I think it looks really cool.
So Kenzo, talk us through your first impressions when hitting with the racket, picking it up, ground strokes from the back. What was your feelings?
Yeah, so this one I felt was quite nice on the arm. I got a lot of easy power with this. It didn't take much to really generate some pace with this. I normally use a pure drive, so specs-wise this is very similar to the pure drive. I felt it was a little bit easier on the arm, so maybe for kind of club players it would be a bit nicer to use in terms of ease on your body. Yeah, and I felt when we were hitting, it was a little bit inconsistent in terms of how much power I got. I felt like we were spraying a little bit when I used it. So perhaps we could string it a little bit tighter next time. I don't know if the string's a little bit loose, and maybe I'll have a bit more control over that power next time.
Okay, so let's talk about moving forward then. You hit a lot of volleys today, thinking about slices, touch shots. Was the feel there for you on the racket?
Yeah, it was good and crisp with the volleys. But you know, trying to be a little bit more delicate with the volleys and the hands, I found it was a little bit more difficult. There was a little less leeway with that type of shot.
What kind of player would you think it would suit?
I think this would suit some sort of baseline player, a baseline player who can hit the ball hard, hit early, hit through the court. I think this would really suit them because with that power, once you get that control, you can really push someone back in the court.
Okay, one thing we haven't touched on is serves. Did that free power translate to kind of more free points on serve? How was that?
Yeah, with the serve, I found it a little bit difficult to control in terms of racket head speed. Once it was up there and I kind of let go, I felt that easy power on the serve.
And so what do you think about the cosmetics of the racket?
I think it's a little bit old school, a little bit retro. If I were to have this personally, I'd probably want a bit more colour from it.
So this is a slightly bigger head size than I'm used to because this is a 100 square inch head size, whereas I usually play with a 98. Noticeably from that, it was a lot more power coming from this racket. I felt like it was a lot easier to put away shots from the baseline. Yeah.
Okay, moving forward, how did you find volleys, touch shots?
I felt touch and feel, it was actually quite good. Because I think the way that you have the strings, with being a lot softer, you can do all the touchy-feely shots, and then with the racket being a lot more powerful, you could go for those deeper, more put-away volleys.
And then how was it on serve? Were you able to generate lots of easy power, like the flat serve down the tee?
Yeah, flat serve down the tee, my favourite serve. A lot of power. Kick serve going well, obviously, because of the amount of spin that I could generate. Yeah, all in all, serve's really nice.
But what kind of player would it suit then? You're talking about put away ability, free power. What kind of player does this suit?
Definitely an aggressive baseliner, or maybe a serve and volleyer, making sure they got the big serves and then coming in and putting the volley away, or someone who's just ready to just whack the ball from the baseline, really.
So what do you think about the cosmetics of this racket?
I think that the matte finish that they've given on most Wilson rackets is really nice. This colour, it's almost sparkly. The way that they've also given the matte finish the whole way around is just, it's a really nice looking racket.